Assalamu alaikum everybody, and welcome to BabyStepMED, where I try and make difficult medical concepts a bit easier. In this video, it's another how-to, and this how-to is how to answer your exam questions and how to basically attempt a paper. And these are just little tricks for your paper presentation. I don't know if this works all around the world, but in like the subcontinent and in Asian countries, they really look at how you present the paper, how you've written things down, and what colors you used, how you basically presented your information. So that really counts. And I learned this in my first year of medical school, and I thought I would share this information with all of you. So let's start off with what you need to have in your stationery bag. You don't need all of these things, but I carry all of these things and maybe a bit more. So let me just show you what I have. So I have a calculator if you need it for calculations. I have a mechanical pencil. These are much better because you don't need to sharpen them. With other pencils, they can break and you need to sharpen them, so I always have a mechanical pencil. I have a good, very fast flowing gel ball pen. This is my favorite pen in the world because it's just so smooth and much faster than regular ball pens. So this is what I use for writing, and I use a blue one. We have markers and highlighters, because highlighters I'll tell you why you need a highlighter later in the video, and a marker and a pointer and a scale. So these are the supplies. So these are the supplies that I do use. I took these out because two colors that you're not supposed to use in your exam is green, shades of green, because green is used by principals, so nope, no green. And any shade of red or pink, you can't use those, because again, teachers use those colors for marking, and it can create confusion, and you don't want that. So the colors that you're going to use are blue and black. These are your basic colors, okay? So that is sorted. Now we get on to how to answer questions in a neat way. So in a neat way, how you would go about it is that you would use your marker for heading. So like if the question is, I don't know, define the neuromuscular junction. So I would write the neuromuscular junction. So this is one way. So this is just like written normally, and then I would just underline it with a black and make it pretty. This is if I have a lot of time, okay? Usually I don't, and I use the shortcut way of making my answers pretty. I'll get to that in a bit, but first we're going to use the neat version. So you could write your headings this way, or you could just like go all caps, neuromuscular. I'm not going to write all of it, but you can do that, and you could put it in a box, or you can underline it, or do anything, okay? And then, for example, you're writing your answer, everything is being written down, blah 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 blah. And if you have like important words, right? So neuromuscular junction, what are the key words that you want your teacher to know that you know? So those would be like okay, and synapse, and different words like motor and plate. So relating to this question, the important vocabulary words that are distinct to this topic, I write them down with a different color than my normal text. There's a synapse. So if you look at this like question from afar, you can easily pick up these words and you're like, okay, this kid knows their stuff. So I write these vocabulary words with a different color, and then if I have to explain okay, so that's that. And I would also add in a little drawing of the neuromuscular junction, really simple, and I would just like include it in the corner or in the middle if I have space. It just gives a really nice impression, so I would add that to this. Okay, now if you have to like write down the classification of something, so how I would do it is I would write classification in the middle neatly. I wrote this not neatly, but yeah. And there are ways to do it. You could do it like this. It depends on what the question is. You could write classifications like this, or you could write classifications like this. So write it down in the middle. Okay, make sure it's neat. This is not neat, but yeah, you could do this. And then write A, B, C, or whatever, this is just an idea, okay? And for physiology questions, if you have to explain the physiology of something or the pathophysiology of something, a really good way is to go for flowcharts. And what are flowcharts? They'll be just keywords. So there are different ways. There's a horizontal flowchart and there's a vertical flowchart. So for example, blah blah blah, I don't know, I cannot think of an example right now, but for example, A leads to B, leads to C, leads to D. Okay, so I'm explaining something. If calcium enters, then something happens, and then something happens, and it binds to this, and then that happens. Okay, so just an example. So this would be a horizontal flowchart. If you have more space, you can go for a vertical flowchart in the middle of the page. So, calcium enters and cell membrane, blah blah, then this happens, blah blah blah. So this is a vertical flow chart. As you can see in my embryology videos, I use a lot of vertical flow charts, so those are really helpful too. Okay, other than that, if you have to write definition, so you'd be like, if for example, if I have to write the definition of what is a motor end plate, okay, what is it? So I would be very simple and I would just like write it down. It's not in focus. Trying to focus it. Okay, good, we have focus. So if I have to write it down, so I'd be like motor and plate, and then I would put on these semicolons, I forgot what they're said, and you write down the definition in a different color, distinctly, use blue for this, keep the symmetry, and then this is how you would write a definition. Okay, so it's just like neater. And if they ask for differences, explain the difference between A and B, explain the difference between fast neuron or slow neuron or anything, then you should make a table. So just like make a table of your differences. These would be the parameters and this would be the things that you're comparing, so like A, B. Okay, and if you like write down this table, it's just so much better to look at and visualize and just like number your differences, and it just looks really, really nice. Okay, so this is how you would answer questions that are asking for differences. And what else? Use arrows, use is equal to's, use bullet points, use, you can use anything. Use dashes to list down stuff if they're asking for, enlist blah blah blah, so enlist causes of blah blah blah. So causes of blah. So you would just like write them down like this, A, B, C, or any other way, you know? Okay, what else? Drawings, and yep. Yes, and if you have to like draw a drawing, if you have to make a drawing for something, then the best way to do it is, for example, if like, I don't know, if for example I've made this drawing, okay, if this is a synapse, then put all your labels on one side, okay, instead of labeling something like this. You know, it's just neater to put everything in one direction. Or you can go either way, but don't be like this. Don't make the sun, okay? Be neat. And what else? Okay, I hope this video is not like topsy-turvy. And yeah, now the quick way. Now usually I go for the quick way because I don't have a lot of time to like, you know, make things neat. So I'll be just like, if I write with just one pen, and I'll be like, you know, blah 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 blah. I'll be writing my way, blah 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 blah. Heading, blah 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 blah. Okay. Keyword, blah 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 blah. Okay. I usually write better than this, but either way, this is the quick way. So this is where my highlighter comes in handy. If I have a heading, I'll just use a highlighter to make a box around it, or I'll use the highlighter to do this. If I have a heading here, for example, if this is a heading, I will just color it with my highlighter and make a nice little box. And this is just quick. And then if I have keywords, like I said before, you should write your keywords with a different color, but it's, you know, time taking to switch pens. So if you have written a keyword, after revising, when you're revising your paper, okay, this is what I do. I write my whole paper down, and I write my whole exam down in just one pen, and when I'm reviewing it, when I'm revising it, I use my highlighter and blue pen, and that is when I underline all the keywords, I make headings, I add bullet points, I add dots, and this is the time when I do this stuff. Okay, and you can use your scale to make it even prettier. If you don't have margins, you can draw margins. You draw margins on either side, or just underline here and there. And I think this would be it. You can use other colors, but they're not really professional. If you're making a drawing, you can use other colors, but I would suggest that you use to this color scheme because it's really professional and it looks nice. So I hope this helped. And if you have your own ways of how you like to write down your exam, let me know. And I really hope this was helpful. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and bye.